Hello everyone, we're going to talk about 8.5 today. Now it's division properties when you're dealing with exponents. So in the previous lessons, we talked about the negative exponents and also when we multiply, what we should do. So when you divide, it's kind of the opposite step from multiplying. So if you are dividing with the same base, in this case, my base is A, then we would subtract your exponent. So we're going to subtract, so m minus n will be your new exponent. One example is 3 to the 7th divided by 3 to the 3rd because they both have the same base. You're dividing with the same base. Then I'm going to subtract the exponent. When you subtract, always do it from top to bottom. So 7 minus 3, which is 4 here. And your answer is 3 to the 4th power, and I would say that's a reasonable number. And so I encourage you to simplify that one because 3 to the 4th power is 3 to the 2nd power times 3 to the 2nd power. That's how, if you're getting comfortable with mental math, the 4 can be break down to be 2 plus 2. So that's a 9 times 9, which is 81. So I will ask you to simplify that to be 81 when you are working with 3 to the 4th power. But if your answer is, let's say, 3 to the 5th power, you can leave it like that. So next slide. We practice. The first one, simplify. A to the 5th divided by A to the 8th. So again, we're dividing with the same base. The base is A. So when dividing with the same base, we'll just subtract the exponent, so 5 minus 8, which is negative 3. Because the exponent is negative, we have to flip it, move it to the bottom, and lose a negative, become a to the 3rd power. And next one, c to the negative 1st, d to the 3rd, on the bottom, c to the 5th, d to the negative 4th. So when you're having more than one variable and you're having division, what I usually do is I will focus on one of the variables. So I'm going to work with a c. So when I was working, let me change a different color here actually. So let's do orange color. So I'm gonna work with a C. When I work with a C, I'm gonna think about, do I multiply or divide here? In this case, a division. So because division, I'm going to be subtract. So negative 1 minus 5. That's the exponent for my C. And then I'm going to look at my D. So for the D here, it's another division. When you're dividing with the same base, we'll subtract. So 3 minus, in this case, minus negative 4. So when I simplify here is c to the minus 1 minus 5 is negative 6. And my D here, 3 minus negative 4 is really 3 plus 4, which is 7. We're almost done here, except we will need to move the c to the bottom because the c has a negative exponent, so it becomes c to the 6th power as a denominator, and my numerator is still d to the 7th because it's a positive exponent. So my answer is d to the 7th over c to the 6th power. Okay, so another practice here. A to the 2nd over and the b over a to the 4th, b to the 3rd. Again, I'm gonna start with the a. When I work on the a, I'm going to subtract. So a exponent is 2 minus 4. And then I'm going to work on my exponent for b. And the exponent for b will be subtract. So if you don't see anything here, there's actually a 1 here is the 1st power. So 1 minus 3 is the exponent for b. So 2 minus 4 here is negative 2. And the b exponent is 1 minus 3, which is also negative 2. Because they have a negative exponent, so we will need to move the a to the bottom and change to be a to the second power. And the b also have to be moved to bottom to be second power. And all you have left is 1 on the top. So your answer is 1 over a squared b squared. Now, next problem here. So again, I'm going to start working on the x. So my x here will be x2 minus 1 because there's actually an imaginary 1 here. That's the exponent for x. And now I'm going to work for y. Let me use a different color here. So the exponent for y will be -1 minus 4. And when I say show all your steps, please write out this. Especially at first when you practice, it helps. I find it being very helpful to write out all the plus and minus here, especially when you are minus a negative number. And then z, and write your z in a way that does not look like 2, so you're not confusing yourself. So the exponent for z will be 4 minus -3. Okay, so the exponent will be 2 minus 1 is just 1. We normally don't write it, but you can write it if you want for this step. And next one is y is -5. The last one is z. 4 minus -3 is 4 plus 3, which is 7. And then if you have any number need to be flipped to the bottom, which is y. So y to the 5th is on the denominator. On my numerator, I have an x and also z to the 7th power. So that's my answer for this one. Now time to practice.